Yeah.
Because they're different. You heard that during the revolution in this country.
Yep.
A third was against it, a third was for it, and a third didn't give a rest.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
And with that stranglehold on education, we are bringing up generations of people who don't understand what constitutional law does to protect human rights.
That's
Like
right.
when you was in school, didn't you have to take? I mean, I remember we had to take a government class. That was a
Absolutely.
part of the requirement of graduating. You had
Absolutely.
to. Matter of fact, remember? I'm sorry to our guests. Remember, there was a cartoon that was on TV every Saturday. I'm just a bill, and I'm only a bill, and I'm on my way to Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
They used that right there to educate
Yeah.
myself and others on our process.
Yeah.
You know
Remember
what,
that?
What, 40 years ago, we had a pro-American media.
Yeah.
We had a pro-American
Yes.
education system. I don't know what our government was
Yeah.
doing at that
Yeah.
time, because
Yeah.
I think, again, in 1979 with the Jimmy Carter administration,
they
we
were
already
all over.
had that infiltration of this progressivism, which
Yes.
is destroying America. I'm going to bring Bob from Warren into the conversation. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
Morning, Mayor, Janice, and gentlemen.
Good morning.
First of all, I hope we're not going to have Dell singing anymore, are we?
I was going to sign him up for a contract.
I shouldn't lead the choir, huh?
Sorry, Dell, it was touching. I had to step away from the phone.
Oh my goodness!
I want to thank Mike for his seminar earlier today. That was terrific.
Yeah, Mike from
But
Ann Arbor
you haven't told Janice. You haven't told us when your program is going to be.
Well, I haven't decided when it's going to be. I'll be honest
that's
with
why
you.
you haven't told us.
That's why I haven't told you. That's
Okay,
right.
all
I'm
right.
meeting
All
with
right.
the
Keep it
founder
yourself.
of Women Defending America this coming Tuesday, so I should have more details next week.
Oh, okay. Well, the other thing about the this is off topic in a way. From the Life of Brian movie, they have a little meeting with the revolutionary guys there, the Freedom for Jews or whatever it is, and the one guy wants to have a baby, and they said, "Well, you can't have a baby." He says, "Well, I want the right to have a baby." Okay,
Yeah.
we can all agree he has the right to have a baby, and it reminds me of what's going on now with these, transgender and trans everything. Like they were really foreshadowing that 40 years ago when they made that movie. So.
Yeah, Monty Python was quite an interesting fellow. He had a good take on things, it seems.
Yeah, ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his time. He was something of a prophet. Oh, no, wait, no, only Muhammad was a prophet.
Good point.
Yeah.
Excellent point, Mayor. You've done it again.
Thank you very much. Well, Bob, thank you so much for calling in. We always
you're
enjoy
welcome.
hearing from you.
And Merry Christmas to you all.
Thank you so
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God bless you. Well, I want to play a couple clips from Obama. I guess I have to say President Obama. I do respect the office of president, so I will say President Barack Hussein Obama gave a lecture. It was a speech. He gave a speech on December 5th where he wants to tell us what we can do to fight Islam. Derek, if you could play clip 2.
There are several steps that Congress should take right away. To begin with, Congress should act to make sure no one on a no-fly list is able to buy a gun. What could possibly be the argument for allowing a terrorist suspect to buy a semi-automatic weapon? This is a matter of national security. We also need to make it harder for people to buy powerful assault weapons, like the ones that were used in San Bernardino. I know there are some who reject any gun safety measures, but the fact is that our intelligence and law enforcement agencies, no matter how effective they are, cannot identify every would-be mass shooter, whether that individual is motivated by ISIL or some other hateful ideology.
Can you imagine that? Now, I think what he just said is support for why every single adult American in this country should be armed.
Yes.
Because we cannot know who's got bad intentions, and we cannot count on the police to be there when we need them.
Well, here is the thing I would like to ask. Is President Obama ready to stand with the Muslims against the American people? Because he said that. You know, we've seen a decline in the poll numbers for Ben Carson.
Right.
For what reason? Because of the fact that there were some things that he said in his past, like wanting to take a hammer,
Right.
in his book, one of his books. Do you remember that they also said that he said that he had a scholarship to the to West Point,
right?
West Point, and then they said, well, the Army doesn't give out scholarships. No, they don't, but they will pay your full ride through 4 years of the academy. But that little difference in technicality is what the liberal press went after him for, saying that he wasn't truthful and all of that. Now, President Obama in his book said, if the climate in America turns harsh toward the Muslims, I will stand with the Muslims.
Right.
That is the reason why President Obama never got my vote and never will get my vote.
Well, the media
let
him get away with virtual. I hate to use the word murder because that's just a figurative. I don't think President Obama has any direct ties to any particular murder, but they let him get away with figurative murder.
Yeah. They let him get away with a lot.
And just before I say, listen, the media is. They are in apoplectic fits because they can't get anything on Trump. Well, I felt the same way about Obama. Yeah. Every time I looked around, this guy was saying something that was, just unworthy of anybody running for the presidency of this United States.
Absolutely.
And nobody cared.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I sit there and pull my hair out. I'm bald-headed today because... and now... Donald Trump, he said some outrageous stuff, but I'm just back there cheering. Way to go, way to go.
Yeah, he's clean. He's clean. He's clean as a whistle. In addition, he has his own resources right now, too.
Right.
His own resource. The establishment is livid about him, too, because they, through their PACs, they don't have any control over him also. Whether we for him or against him, he that curtain of political correctness keep coming up. He keep ripping it down. It's him that's keeping that because if it wasn't for him being in there right now, I can tell you that no matter how much we love Cruz and others that's on that stage, it would be we know because unfortunately, Dr. Carson had to apologize a number of times when I thought that he did not need to apologize at all for anything, for his comment about Muslim, for his comment from a surgeon perspective on homosexuality and so on and so forth, all these different things that he has an opportunity to do research on, and he know himself personally. So. Absolutely. I'm gonna support him for as long as he's in the part of this free process. Here, just think about this. We've never had a sitting president to ever interview and pose for a openly homosexual magazine. This is called Out. The president of this United States. Posed for and interviewed for an openly homosexual magazine called Out. Very first. Now, we seen this a couple of days ago. I was trying to catch up with Phil. This was on Wednesday, Phil.
Yeah.
Right?
I got that.
Did you get the paper right here? They're calling us, it says, vile bigotry against Muslim is an insult on our freedom, our community, and the diverse fabric that makes up Michigan. We stand together. Okay, so they had a few people that stand together. All we saying is that we're not against, this is absolutely a country that's very diverse, and we don't have a problem with that. But we're talking about Sharia law.
That's right.
And that's what we stand against. And we saying that the people that are here, that are in this free society, they need to stand up. They need to march. They need to be very outspoken about not ISIL, but against ISIS. They need to be very outspoken against terrorism.
Well, that's right. In fact, I wanted to play another clip,
Yes.
but I don't think we're going to have time because
Okay.
we're entering into the final 1
Oh,
minute.
really?
But Obama said that we have to enlist Muslims as our allies, and I'm wondering which Muslims was he talking about? Oh, probably the hundreds of thousands of Muslims around the world who went up and expressed rage when 9/11 happened, when our towers came crashing down. Oh, wait a minute, there weren't any that were expressing outrage. Or maybe he's talking about the throngs of Muslims that live in America that claimed outrage when the Fort Hood shooter shot up our army personnel. But wait a minute, no, there wasn't an outcry. So I don't know who he's talking about. I do know, though, that we're at the end of our hour, and I want to thank everyone who's listening. I want to thank Del Marsh, Phil Stargell. This is Janice Daniels. We represent Art of Michigan. Go on to our website, artofmichigan.com, and take a look at the featured articles. We've got some photos. We've got archives of our show. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we love America. We love this country. We love our Constitution, and we love our audience. Have a great rest of the day.
Yeah. Hey, folks, if you want to make a year-end contribution, this is the show. If you want us to continue, go to artofmichigan.com. I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
No, thanks. See you next week, folks. The Abolitionist Round Table invites the Wham! Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan 48135.
Or follow Phil and Del at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.